Welcome to the Outlander Unhinged podcast, where we talk deep dives, wild theories, and the heart of Outlander. I'm Doreen.
I'm Liz.
I'm Jenny.
And I'm Katie. Grab your snacks, Sassenachs. It's time to talk about Outlander.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 11 of the Outlander Unhinged podcast. We're barely hanging on today, guys. Katie's got a head cold. Jenny's knees are about to collapse. I was vomiting all night.
Oh.
And Liz is holding us together with her glue stick.
Yay for the glue stick.
Glue for everyone.
Oh my gosh.
We're hanging on by a thread.
Oh,
I want to
boy.
use it as a salve on my entire body. Just God.
I don't know if I have
guys.
that much glue, but I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can.
They're giant sticks, though, so, they're more than your smaller one.
I mean, they are. They are.
I don't even want to talk about where my head just went. Oh my gosh. Okay, Jenny, just introduce the topic because
What are we talking? Oh, well, this is perfect. You asked, we answered.
So
you really
many
want to know about my knees?
So many of you sent in amazing questions, and we're going to do our best to get them all answered. We're going to do the answers round robin style and just pick questions in the order in which they were sent. So let's start with the first question.
I'm actually going to do it. I put this little app and it's going to generate a random order. And
fun.
I don't know about you guys. I did not prep at all.
Nope.
I
No.
don't have preconceived answers for this.
I don't
Half
even
the
know
questions-
what the questions are.
Yeah, so this is
I
gonna be
read
interesting.
half of them and then passed out last night, so it's going to be a surprise.
It's going to be a fun one, guys.
Okay, first question comes from Jamie, who is Jamie's Girl on TikTok. What is your favorite outfit that Claire wore or time period? Liz, why don't you go first with this one?
Ooh, I feel like I have two in particular for Claire, and they're both season 3. I love 1968 Claire, the 60s vibes. I love that outfit. And the hair, it's very like Mamas and the Papas vibes. I love that so much. And I also love the batsuit. I think the batsuit is probably my favorite. Even when I got to that part in the books, I was so excited for it. I love that entire outfit that she made from a raincoat. It's definitely one of my favorites for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, what do
What
you
if
think?
Jenny could do that?
You
know,
should
try.
I did just get another order of that Outlander inspired fabric. So I would like to at some point try to make a skirt for somebody to cosplay in. That would be kind of cool.
Ooh.
So maybe
Nice.
I'll come back
so
to
Volunteers
cool.
tribute.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
So I think, apart from like the wedding dress and then the Paris dress, right? Because those I feel like are staple favorites. But I think my favorite Claire look is season 1 because it's Scotland. She's wearing the tartans. I don't know. I just something about season 1 I just love. But I also love like season 5 when they're home on the ridge and just that homey feeling kind of style. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you, Doreen?
Me? Oh, see,
Mhm.
mine's actually, I don't even necessarily know it's just my favorite outfit because I kind of think it's ugly. But you know that yellow in Paris season, which is my favorite time in the story. She has that yellow dress and it has those big flowers. It's kind of hideous. It's brown. But I had saw an interview where the costume designer for the show was talking about how in all of Claire's costumes, she put these little Easter eggs and she sewed in Claire, I call her Claire, oh my gosh. When she sewed in Kat's cat paw. Katrina has a cat and she put the cat paw in one of the flowers of that dress.
That's so
So I
cool.
love
That's
that.
so
I really
adorable.
loved that. What do you
That's
got,
amazing.
Jenny?
You know, I find it so interesting. Everybody loves that red dress. I hated that red dress. That had to be my all-time most, like, I thought it was so ill-fitting on her. Look, we all love the wedding dress. That's a given. And I feel like there's a dress in season 2, and I have stars up on my laptop now, and I can't seem to place it, but I feel like it might have been a yellow one where she steps out of the carriage. And like some of the Paris dresses are just so ornate and beautiful. And how fun must that have been for her to dress up like that? That's not everyday wear that you get to wear, beautiful couture.
Mhm.
See,
There's
that's
a
so funny. Sorry, Katie. I thought you were going
no.
to pick the purple one with the hood because you talk
So
about that one a lot
Yes.
and it has
I,
the
Mhm.
strawberries.
I feel like there's two, and like I said, I'm like zooming through the stuff right now in season 2 here. There is that blue thing that comes over her head, and it's like, is that when she's walking in to see the compt
Mm-hmm.
that
And
she
it has
runs
Yeah.
into him? That
strawberries
one,
embroidered into it, like strawberry vines.
yes. I mean, that one is just spectacular. So that and the yellow one, they're my favorite, but I really disliked the red dress.
Mm.
The robe that she walks around in
Oh,
Paris, I want that robe.
yes.
Me
I want
too.
to
Gorgeous.
find it
Yes.
so bad. But
Gorgeous.
also, I noticed, like, in one of my millionth rewatches, when she steps out of the carriage, I know this is totally off topic, but when she steps out of the carriage walking into Le Hôpital, it's like that violet, dark, kind of a dark blue, dark purple.
Mhm.
Um, she looks like Geneva. Like her and Geneva look so similar.
Yes.
I
Very
think I said that in our
similar.
rewatch
It's
Yeah.
true.
over the summer. But yeah,
It's true.
I caught a glimpse and I was like, oh my God, I see why, it's crazy.
It is.
I was
I
like, that's
also
Geneva. No, it's not. She's
It's
not
Girl,
here yet.
true.
what
It's
are you doing here,
true.
girl?
I also love when Claire's walking up the stairs in Paris to see Master Raymond at his apothecary, that outfit that she wears when she goes
Mhm.
to see him. And I'm not a huge season 2 fan, but I do really love that outfit.
Maybe that's the one I'm
Yeah.
thinking of. I do. What color was it?
I feel like it was a dark purple or a dark
That has
green
to
with
be
the
it.
hood.
Yeah. I think that's the one. I think that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Fun little fact, her wedding dress had a dog bone made out of gems in it too. I'm gonna do a video and share all these little Easter eggs
You
actually because I think
Yeah.
it's
should. You
really funny.
should.
I love that.
That's so nice.
Oh, this is a good one. Okay, the next question comes from Danielle. Didn't give me a username, but if you could give any character modern therapy, who would benefit the most?
I know.
Okay. All right, Katie, you take this one.
Everyone on this podcast, please know that this is a running joke, but my toxic trait is Stephen Bonnet. Because I think all he needs is a mother's love, right? He just needs someone to love him. So I think Stephen Bonnet would really
I think
benefit
that's a
from
good one,
modern day
Katie.
therapy.
I do. I think that's a good one.
Stephen Bonnet needs a lobotomy, but okay.
That's so funny.
It's just Ed, really. At the end of the day, I've loved Ed since Aragon. So, I mean, it's just because it's Ed.
I don't have my answer yet, so Liz, you got to go next.
You know, I think for me it would probably be Galis. I think Galis needs a lot of support. She needs someone to speak very gently to her and just give her a hug and tell her to calm her ass down. That's that. I really think it would be Galis.
The answer
For
is never
me.
burning your husband alive.
Correct. Not having a barbecue at the Standing Stones anywhere. I mean, if you think about it, look at how many notebooks she kept. She took so many notes. She talked to so many people. She got in her own head. I mean, and she did a lot of bad things to her husband. So, yeah.
I think she was misunderstood. I kind of ride for Galis. I'm not gonna lie.
I tell you guys all the time, I'd like to think I'd be Claire, but I would be like, let's go, Dougal. We gotta go. Yeah, like a crazy woman.
Okay, I got my answer. I've got my answer.
Okay.
Blackjack Randall.
Oh, that's a good one.
That
Yeah.
man needs a lobotomy also, but he just
does. He does.
I would love to be privy to those therapy notes because I want to know what messed that man up. Because
Yeah.
Alex
Right.
Yeah.
is
What's the
so
backstory?
normal. What
Right.
happened? You grew up in the same household. What is going on? It's like that
Yeah.
nature versus nurture situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I know. And there's so many people that are like, I don't want to know his backstory. I do.
Oh,
I'm
I
just
do.
I do.
curious. Like, what happened to him
Yep.
to
I
make him
mean,
that way?
getting Stephen Bonnet's backstory is what made me understand him so much more.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Who would think that you would empathize with him? But you wind up doing that with Stephen Bonnet. So yeah, I agree.
mhm.
That's why he's my toxic trait.
He sure is.
All right, Jenny, what about you? Who are you picking?
Well, you know who I'm going to say. It's a softball. It's Dougal. Like I think had he been given therapy, he really would be an amazing leader. Like I could see that helping him immensely. So yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Liz is
Yeah,
like
they're all good.
narcissism
What about the
cannot
Bonnie
be
Prince? The Bonnie
cured.
Prince.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Narcissism cannot be cured. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to reprogram his brain to not say "mark me" anymore? I mean, what
Well,
is he going to
yeah,
say
like
instead?
Oh, for the
I
Bonnie
feel like
Prince, like
yeah, what
maybe
Bonnie Prince
don't
like
have a picnic on the battlefield. I don't know.
right.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh my
Oh my
lord.
gosh. Okay, here's this one comes from Allison. Oh, this is a good one. What made you decide to start the podcast and how much work went into setting it up? Do you script or outline your episodes or just hit record and go feral? I don't know how I feel about people thinking we're feral.
You know, we kind of are. It's okay.
It definitely makes us stand out, that's for sure. Like, oh, those
Yes.
feral girls that talk about Outlander. Yeah, I know exactly who you mean.
Yeah.
Jenny, why don't you go first? What made you want to do the podcast?
Thank God you asked the question again because I forgot it within that three
It was
seconds.
what made you decide to start the podcast? How much work went into setting it up? And do we script
Okay.
or outline our episodes or just hit record and go feral?
I joined, like, look, I thought this was an amazing opportunity. Like, Doreen says, hey, you want to talk about Outlander? Who's going to say no? Seriously. So, and it really has given a big opportunity to really rip these books apart and get a much deeper understanding than I would have done by myself. So, and look, there's a lot of work that goes into this. I mean, the things that people don't see is Doreen, you know, at midnight trying to get the episode down in the computer and trying to edit things, and this is so far beyond me. I wish I could help her, but you know, I'm lucky I can turn my laptop on at this point. So a lot of work goes into it, so I'll leave that to Doreen to explain what she does.
No, I mean, Liz, what made you want to do the podcast? I'll go last.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't want to take an opportunity to talk about Outlander in a meaningful way with three of their closest friends, where you know that whatever you say, no matter how wild and off the charts it is,
Like Lord
there's
John Grey is a poisonous mushroom.
I'm never living that
Book
down.
Frank
or
can
I
F
hate
right
Frank.
off.
You'll never get me to like Frank. I will never, ever appreciate Frank. Never, ever, ever, ever.
I think it was your best
I mean,
friend who said, Book Frank can F right off.
That's right.
yes. And I have
Was
since
me,
forgiven her. I have forgiven her. And I'm still trying to change your opinion, Doreen. I'm hoping that Frank's book will come through for me. But who really wouldn't want to sit down and talk about Outlander in a meaningful way with three of their closest friends, where whatever you say, there's zero judgment, and you have the chance to deep dive and theorize and just live in moments of girlhood where you can laugh and cry together and explore something that in essence brought people together under circumstances where we probably never would have met each other or had a relationship.
Mhm.
So that's why I want to do the podcast, but I also want everyone to know about this story and how powerful it is and what a gift it is, and encourage other people to explore their thoughts and talk to other Outlander fans about what they think, because I think that's really where the heart of Outlander is, in the community of people who are having conversations about this story.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's such a magical thing that we've created. Maybe that's just me tooting our own horn, but I just think there's something
Beep,
really
beep.
special about what all of us have. We hold space for each other, and personally, what I love, I think the most, is hearing other inputs, because maybe when I was reading the book or watching the show, I didn't think about it that way. And so it gives me, you know, a different lens to see that scene or that person through. So I love what we have. I love your guys' brains. I think all of us kind of bring something a little bit different to the
Yes.
table, and I think that makes us a good, a good match to, But I mean, I joined because like you guys said, who doesn't want to talk about Outlander? I mean, we're all so passionate about it, and it's just fun to have the chance to talk about it with, like Liz said, like 3 of your closest friends. Like it's an honor, really,
Absolutely.
I love all of
All right,
that.
Doreen, all you.
So I guess for me, about a year ago, somebody commented in one of my videos and said, it's not that serious about something I was talking about with regards to Outlander. And I said, oh yeah, I'm going to show you how serious it is. And that's
Baby.
that's kind of where the idea started, that I wanted. And I also, with the TikTok ban, I think I realized, and getting my own page banned, I realized the volatile nature of social media. And
Mm-hmm.
you guys are privy to this because you listened to me cry yesterday. I was getting harassed so badly that they had to talk me out of deleting my TikTok, which is a source of income for my family, because it's so disheartening. And I wanted to create a place that was somewhere I could really talk about it with people, that it was safe and I didn't have to see comments. I didn't have to get hate. We could just genuinely be here. So it started off with like me securing the rights, whatever. And then the first person I actually asked was Liz, because I thought it would be such an interesting aspect to have me, who had been reading the books and really focusing on the books, and Liz, who was so knowledgeable about the show, and it would create this really great synergy. So the truth be told, that's the first person I reached out to. And I said, and I don't know how to approach it, because listen, Katie have this duo dynamic. They do these lives. I didn't want to take away from that. Do you think Katie would want to do it? And then I was like, well, what about Jenny? And it just kind of grew from there. And then we started this group chat. We went around back and forth. Liz's idea was to call it the space between. We kind of went back and forth. Jenny hired her nephew and he created the logo for us, and she came up with the idea of using Malcolm. So it really was, everyone always says like, oh, Doreen, you created the podcast. Like, it really has been a group effort, and my OCD is why I do all of the editing. And at the beginning we did script just because we had to find our feeling, but now
Yeah.
we have a shared note. We have all the episode titles. We kind of debate which ones we're going to do next, and we put in a couple thoughts, and then we all write whatever we plan to say, and then we just kind of let it go. So I think as we've gotten further in, we've gotten more comfortable with our own things. And if you go back and listen to our first episode versus now, you can really kind of tell the difference.
Oh,
But
huge difference.
yeah, like everybody said, it's just, I think we have a really good synergy. We all bring something really different to the table. We talk about it all the time. I'm like the nerdy, awkward one. Liz is very like personable. She's really outgoing. She engages people. Jenny just pulls crap out of her ass. I don't even know where it comes from, and Katie is just like the kindest little person, and she just says stuff sometimes, and she just gets us all cracking up. So I think it's a really good synergy, and I love what we've created, and I'm really proud of it. And look what it resulted in, Diana Gabaldon getting ready to be interviewed. So I don't know. I'm proud of
Cannot
us.
wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for
Yes.
that.
Oh, and I guess this next question we kind of answered too, because it said who comes up with the episode topics and titles and what's the process. So I think I just kind of
Mm,
explained that. Next
yeah.
question comes from Marlene. Oh, I like this question. Who's your most underrated character? Katie, you take this one.
Oh,
Pressure.
underrated character. Circle back to me. I got to think about this one.
Anyone who's got
Circle
it,
back.
take it. Okay.
For me, and you and I think agree, it's Marcelly. She was my unexpected fan favorite. Like I did not like when you first meet her. Show watch her first. I like having the actress in my head when I'm reading the book because I think she did such an amazing job. You're like, oh, she's a little much. And then before you know it, you're like, you take that syringe to his neck, Marcelly. You go, girl. And all of a sudden, I'm like, how am I in love with Marcelly? She's amazing. But the actress, what's her name? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Lauren
Lauren
Lyle.
Lyle.
Oh my God, she's adorable. She is just she did a great job with Marcelly, and that is absolutely my underrated character.
Hmm.
What do you think,
Okay.
Liz? What's your idea?
Yeah.
Tom Christie. I
Oh,
love
I knew
Tom
it.
Christie.
I knew it. I would have bet every dollar in my bank account.
Tom Christie. He, you know what? I am just now starting to learn about the introduction to his character in the books in Bruno, the Fiery Cross, for anyone who doesn't know. But I gotta tell you, I love that man. And I really do think that that there's going to be so much more of him in the books that we didn't get in the show. And when he turned himself around in the show, I almost fell off of whatever I was sitting on because I could not believe. I could not believe it. That man has heart. That man has vision. That man has commitment. I think he is a very underrated character, and I'm very, very excited to read more about his story in the books. But
Let me
also,
just say,
Mark Lewis Jones is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Phenomenal.
yeah. Absolutely.
let me just say something.
I
If you don't follow us on TikTok, I'm sorry, Katie. I want to hear what you have to say. I got to get this in.
no.
You guys, if you do not have TikTok, you just need to get it and go follow Liz because she posted a video where she is doing this trend with Tom Christie's photo. And she's basically, I don't even know what the trend is
Oh, the
called.
ride the horse one.
Ride the horse trend. I was like, oh no, we're going Tom Christie? Okay, just go ahead and watch that video. It'll make
Yes.
your week, let me tell you.
Horses in the stable.
To Tom Christie.
Yes.
No, I'm
Okay.
never getting that way about Tom Christie. I can't do it, sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Master
right there
Raymond all day
behind.
long. All day long.
I think for me, my most underrated character would probably be older Ian.
Oh,
I feel like we don't get a lot of him,
yes.
and
That's a
he
good
is
one.
such like he's more of like the quieter type.
I want to change my vote. I
I
love old Ian.
He is so loyal, and you know, he really stepped up when Jamie was sent to prison and everything with Jack Randall because he and Jenny had to run Lollybrock. And Jamie is his brother, right? Of course he's going to do that, and he loves Jenny, and I just think that he's always there for the people that he loves. And I just feel like we don't see enough of him. Or he's so
Yeah.
quiet when we do see him.
No, he's a great character. I love him.
He is. He's phenomenal.
I want to give my answer. It's actually 2. And I want to do it, but I don't want to give spoilers, so I'm going to be vague. First of all, I agree with Jenny. I was going to say Marcelly, but then I switched gears. Mine is Joe Abernathy.
Oh,
And it's and Master Raymond. And I'm going to tell you guys why. It's because the show did such a disservice to how important both of those characters are. And
Yes.
Katie, you're about to start learning, and Liz, girl, hold on, because you are
Hold
about to
on.
really start learning about Joe
Yeah.
Abernathy and his real actual part in the story. And it absolutely broke my heart how underrated he was, and he was kind of just a side character
Agreed.
in the show. And that, and Master Raymond too. I feel that anyone who doesn't follow us or listen to the podcast and is a show watcher only got to season 7B and was like, who's this guy? Oh,
Yeah,
that's the
where'd he
Yeah.
guy
come
that
from?
healed her. Why does he matter? And that makes me really sad because those are two of the most important characters in Outlander. So,
Yeah. Good choices. All
Yeah,
of
I
them are
yes.
like
good
all of them.
choices.
Yeah.
I changed mine.
Yeah.
I want everybody's.
Okay, I'll share.
I don't think I want Tom Christie, honestly.
Yeah, Bliss, I may give
Yeah,
him back.
okay, give him back to me. Come on, Tom, let's go.
I will say I never expected to feel bad or cry for Tom Christie.
Right.
Like
Agreed.
in the show.
Agreed.
Like I was like, I
Me
hate this
too.
guy.
Yep,
And then season 7, I was like, oh, Tom.
that's right. That's right. That man took my heart and he ran away with it. That's right.
And
Oh
I will
my
give it,
God.
Liz, where you're at in the books, you really do get a love. I appreciated him and understood him more in the books. So I understand the journey
Mhm.
that you're on right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Courtney. Which moment made you yell at your TV or book the loudest?
Ooh.
I'll go first. Can I go first on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
When I opened book 2, and all of a sudden, Claire is back, and I don't know what the F happened.
Right.
I got in my car, I'm dead serious, and drove back to the bookstore because I thought I got the wrong book. That,
It does make
uh,
sense.
oh, no. I'm, yes, that would be my moment. That would be my moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a very specific example. I mean, obviously one is season 2. Like that's the first one, but
Mhm.
the one that I don't think people would expect is it's really it's funny and it just speaks to how obsessed I am. So, we know season 6 is not any of our favorite, I don't think, unfortunately, but the season 6 finale is one of my favorites. And
I don't
when they
even know what
go
it
and
is.
rescue Okay, so Claire has been taken, she's been arrested.
Never
Jamie's
my
taken, like
last.
they're separated. No,
Mm,
that's season 5. So it's when Claire is arrested for Malva's murder,
Oh, yes.
and
Yes.
then they get separated. And they tie Jamie up on the beach, and they're gonna put him on a ship back to Scotland. When Ian, oh my God, and the Cherokee arrive, I was like, oh my God. I literally was screaming. My husband had came home and he was in our garage. I didn't know he was home. He came running inside. He's like, are you all right? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's just Outlander. And he goes, my God, I thought you were like hurt or something.
Mhm. Yes.
I was like, no, they rescued Jamie.
It's true. I love that my mountain man was part of that too. When he rolls up on that horse and he's
Yes.
like, I wouldn't do that, friend. I was like,
I told you I would fight with you, bear killer. Oh my God. Woo!
true. It's true.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
I don't know
love
that
it.
I have a moment. Like, I can't really think of something that really. Yeah, I don't know that I have one. I did. It's funny that you say book 2, Doreen, because I can remember starting season 2 and being like, what the hell is this? But it still didn't make
mm-hmm.
me. You learn that you just sort of get like, you're sucked into it. I don't know how to explain it. You're like, wait, this is different. Who is
Mhm.
this guy? He wasn't in all of season 1. And then all of a sudden you're in season 7. You're like, oh, Roger Mack. We love him. I don't know. That's,
Yeah.
but I can't think of anything
I
that
had
upset me. Go ahead.
So I call her my adoptive mom. You know, you guys know my story of getting into Outlander, and she's the one that introduced me to Outlander. And I remember starting season 2, and I literally text her WTF. I was like, she's what is happening? And she goes, keep watching, keep watching.
Right.
Just
Like,
keep
I don't
going.
want to. Why is she not with Jamie?
Mhm.
But I kept watching, you know, obviously.
Yeah, I wish I could think of a
What's
specific
yours,
one, but
Liz?
Okay, so I think my first one is round 2 of the wedding night. That had me screaming.
Oh,
Round
Mm.
2 of the wedding night. Jamie's a quick study. He's a quick study. He's a quick study. So I think that was probably the first. I was yes. But I think the one of the things that really upset me that I did not see coming at all was Frank's car accident. That
yeah.
had me sobbing and screaming because you guys know how I feel about Frank the Tank. And having been a show watcher first, I didn't see that. I didn't see it coming. And that
Yeah.
really impacted me and affected me. It still upsets me, but I understand that there's a purpose to his storyline ending, but that really shook me up. It really
That's a
did.
good one.
And anytime I rewatch season 3, I get to that part of the episode, I'm sobbing every
Yeah.
single time
yeah.
because
Oh,
it's
it is
just
really
so
sad.
heartbreaking. It is. It's really, really sad. So, you know, just to be with Claire in that moment, it just, you know, it's really sad. And Katrina did a phenomenal job.
Oh
That's
yeah.
You
one
know.
I can't rewatch because it just, I mean, there's like a handful of episodes that I just can't, like, it breaks
Mhm.
my heart too much. That's
Mhm.
one of them. I just can't because I sob every time because I
Yeah.
love Show Frank. I mean, we know Book Frank's a different person, but I mean, Show Frank, I feel the same way. I was like, wait
Yeah,
a minute,
agreed.
what? You did
I don't
not see that
remember
coming.
No, you
So,
didn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened before, but I put it together that he was gonna die. And as it's like Joe comes out of the door, I'm like, please don't let me. Like I said, I already knew it.
mhm.
Joe comes out the door and I'm like, oh no, I don't want it. And it really was. That was a very, very well acted and heartbreaking scene. Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of give it away, I guess, in the beginning. Is it at the beginning of season 2 when she was like, my late husband, Frank, when she's talking to Roger? So, I mean, I guess we did
We
know that
knew
he
he was,
died,
but
but still, it was just,
the way it happened,
I don't
like that's,
know. Mm-hmm.
oh, he was with
Yeah.
Brianna at the car. That's what it was. And to
Mm-hmm.
me,
Oh,
I took it as
yeah.
Frank had
I
been
don't
drinking.
remember the show.
Do you remember
Oh,
that
yeah.
part? Yeah, so
Oh.
she's at the car and she's like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, hey, your mother and I are getting a divorce, like whatever. And the way
Come with me to
Tobias did
England.
it, I did think he was drinking. And that's where I put it together. I'm like, oh no, he's going to get in a car
Mhm.
crash. But, we'll see if that's actually what happens
It's just
later
so
on with what Frank knew.
it's so different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so different because like the whole obituary scene and like that just doesn't happen in the book. So I was like, wait,
Mhm.
what is happening? It was just really interesting to me. I don't know. I feel like
Mhm.
in the book I knew it was coming. It was a different experience for
Mhm.
me. But I
I
Yeah.
just
think
didn't
that was
care in the book. I was like, see ya.
but yeah, I hated him so much. I did not care. I would have done it myself.
There's
This
Wow.
Doreen behind the
question's
wheel of
from
the
Like,
car.
Glenn.
oh, that's so sad. Bye, Frank.
Bye-bye.
Oh man.
See ya,
Mhm.
wouldn't want to
Mhm.
be ya.
All right. So let's
Thank you,
This is like,
MI6.
next question.
All right, this is
Move
actually
thank
on.
you, MI.
this is
I don't know
same
if
from
Doreen gave her
Courtney.
answer yet.
I did.
She said book 2.
Book
Oh,
2.
you did. Okay.
Yep.
Fine.
Same question, same person, Courtney. She said, and this might be my favorite question we've gotten to so far. If you stripped away the romance, what do you think Outlander is actually about?
Oh.
I feel like I'm uniquely qualified to answer this. Who wants to go
Trying to
first?
change
Go ahead.
history? Trying
Who
to
go
change
first?
history?
Katie went. Yeah. Okay. I like that.
I
I
think
don't know.
I think um time travel, but historical fiction, and I really like the
Mhm.
historical fiction aspect of it. But yeah, I agree with you, Katie, that trying to change the outcome of what's happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe not that deep of an answer, but what do you think, Liz?
I would say, definitely some time travel and historical fiction, but also family. I feel
Mm.
like there's a running theme of family in Outlander, like not just family like lovey-dovey family, but like family dynamics and family trauma and just
Found
family
family.
survival, found family. Absolutely.
Mm.
Mm.
I do think there's a running theme of family strung throughout Outlander also.
All
What do
right,
you
That's a
think,
good
Doreen.
one.
Doreen?
I feel like Outlander is meant to be a lot of different things depending on who the consumer is. And I think, like Diana, it's very complex and it's kind of meant to be decoded in the sense that it's written when we're theorizing, I view things I get really deep into quantum physics. People will get into religious aspects. People get into parallels of things like Reiki or Catholicism. People fall in love with the love story. People like the historical. I mean, she just got her doctorate because of the impact that her books had on Scotland and the history of Scotland and people tourism and the interest in it. And I think that's kind of the whole point. She, in every interview she does, she's like, I was inspired by Doctor Who. I was inspired by this. I was inspired by that. And I think that's the whole point. It's not supposed to be one thing, it's supposed to be a
One
lot
thing.
of things. And if you like history, you
Mhm.
enjoy the history. If you like love, you like the love. And I kind of think that's the point of the entire series, if that makes any sense.
No,
It
I
So
like
It
that.
does.
does.
It
yeah,
does.
it's a lot of different things. So
Mhm.
okay. I hate this question. I'm sorry. Mary, I love you. Mary Sassenach on TikTok. I love you. I hate this question. Do you think Faith is alive?
Uh, she better
No.
not be.
No. No.
I believe in an
I,
alternate
I
universe that we're not going to touch upon. She is.
I
Well, sure.
but
In a
in
parallel
Outlander,
timeline,
no.
in
Yeah.
I
in this in
I've
this
said it before.
timeline,
I
yeah.
realize it's not
no.
canon, but I do think because it was her idea that is always like this bubble out there.
Mhm.
That it's
But
this is
it
all
was
about like timelines and go ahead,
yeah,
go
we
ahead,
talk about
Doreen.
this all the time that there's versions of us existing on all these different timelines, and the Mobius is you jumping in and out of them.
Right,
So when Jamie dies on the battlefield of Culloden, he's in theory the Mobius is twisting and he's getting on a different timeline setting those events.
right.
And I get all of that. So maybe Faith was alive somewhere. And I think Diana maybe explored the thought of that. But what she said in the interview, and I've watched it, was she had the idea of writing about it and if that would have taken place, and then she nixed it because she didn't like it and she didn't think it made sense to the story. And
Mhm.
I do think the showrunners were kind of crappy for doing this. And I believe they did it because they wanted people to tune into the prequel. They were like, "Yeah, we're going to
Yes,
tie in this song." No, you're not. You're just going to have freaking Julia sing the song for 2 seconds,
that was like if
and
that
had
ends
all
up
of us
being it.
theorizing.
Yeah.
It's definitely it. That's it. And I
That was
think it's
just the
going to
dumbest
be
thing ever.
without giving spoilers, I just think it's going to be very similar to Claire having a mental break and she's just envisioning this and Jamie has to be like this is not our granddaughter. And it's going to be resolved
Mhm.
very soon at the beginning of season 8 in my
That's
opinion.
what I'm
Yeah.
hoping is it's
Yeah,
just some sort of like fever dream or
Yeah.
she's still not, fully recovered, obviously. So it's just some sort of like hallucination or dream she's having because it just doesn't make sense. And I mean, why would I also feel like I know, I mean, I don't know because I haven't gotten that far in the books, but I'm sure they have a lot of ground to cover in 10 episodes. And are you really going to add in another storyline
Right.
that isn't there in the first place to just, to cut other ones out? I don't know. I get why it was done for the shock value. I get all that. It's a good, like Sam said, it's sure is a cliffhanger. Like,
Right.
but at the end of the day, it, like you guys said, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Why would you put Claire and Jamie through that pain
Mm-hmm.
again after all these years?
Mm-hmm.
It's mean, it's cruel, and
Mm-hmm.
if they do go that way, I'll be furious. So
Me
It would
too.
be really insensitive to make all of us have to relive that all over
yeah,
again as well. So my opinion is that in Outlander in the show, Jamie and Claire's faith is not alive. It's a coincidence, it's a connection, it's a thought. And I agree. We've all been saying this for a long time now. We just want it to be wrapped up and put to the side so other parts of the story can be told.
yeah, because
Mhm.
that's my whole thing. And like Doreen said too, I like they were trying to tie in Blood of My Blood, and my whole thing with Blood of My Blood was it's fine that you want to do your own story, but don't sacrifice Outlander because you have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, don't sacrifice the work that's already there and change the story. So I
Yeah.
guess that's my worry is that it's going to be changed, but I feel like they wouldn't do that. I feel like they would know all of us would be so upset.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that, like you guys said, it's just like some sort of dream or hallucination, and it's going to get wrapped up in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, and the amount of storyline
Hopefully.
that they have to get into those 10 episodes is absolutely
Oh my
astronomical.
God.
So I
Crazy.
yeah. She this question, this one comes from Sarah. I'm going to let Liz go first on this one. Hi guys. I
Okay.
am reading book 4, Drums of Autumn right now, which is really hard for me to get through. I tend to trail off on the audiobook, and I have been hearing y'all talking about the fiery cross and calling it Bruno and how hellish it is. And it has taken years to get through. What is Bruno? Please get me excited to push forward to drums to start Fiery Cross. Go ahead, Liz. You're uniquely you created the Bruno.
Okay. Well, thank you for your question, and I want to first say that everyone's individual reading journey is not linear. Reading for everyone looks different, and reading the Outlander books is a commitment. So kudos to you for making your way through. Bruno came about from the movie Encanto and the song "We Don't Talk About Brew." No, 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 no. Because anytime anyone asked me, how are you doing reading the Fiery Cross? I wouldn't want to talk about it. And so the conversation just kind of turned into, let's call the book Bruno because we don't want to talk about it. Now, here's what I will say. I remember reading Drums of Autumn, and I found the first third to be a little slow going, but then the rest of it I sped through, and it was amazing. I found the first half of the Fiery Cross to be very slow going, and it was a struggle for me because as a reader, I need flow. I need one things to lead into the other. I need to be kept interested, and it was hard for me. It was hard for me. But looking back, the first half of the Fiery Cross, as slow going as it was for me, I agree with Doreen that it's very important to the later part of the story. So I appreciate you, Doreen, for encouraging me to keep going. I think that everyone has to read Outlander in a way that is comfortable for them. And what it looks like for me is sometimes switching back and forth between the audiobook and the tangible book. And reading when I am in the mood to do it. When I force myself to read Outlander, I don't get very far. I have to
Mhm.
be in the mood and I have to be in the mindset to be able to read it. And you have to look at Outlander as a journey. It is a journey. It's not a race. It's not a competition. And so you have to read Outlander in a way that makes you feel good and that allows you to kind of move freely on your own reading journey. There is no right or wrong way to read Outlander. There's only the way that you need to read Outlander. So keep going. Keep going. There are so many important things in the books. That doesn't mean that I like everything that I've read in the books, but they are so important and valuable to the larger scale of the story. So keep going, keep going. I'm pushing through too. You will make it through Bruno as well.
So, it's interesting, I think what you're saying is right because I actually really loved The Fiery Cross, and I I didn't I don't when I heard you were calling it Bruno, I was like, "Man, I love that book." But, the first half is very hard. It's just tedious, but
Mm-hmm.
I have a really different piece of advice and opinion that is very unpopular in this fandom. And if you have watched the show, I think it's going to be very hard for you to read the first 6 books because there's not really any new information. There's changes, there's deeper lore, and there's deeper things. But I tell people all the time, if you are not a reader, but you want to know what's to come, go read books 7, 8, 9, and read the novellas, and then come back to these for more information. And I actually think that's how Jenny read the books because she wanted to know
That's
what was going
exactly
to
what I did.
happen. And there'll be some intricacies and some characters that you're going to think what happened. But if you're struggling to get engaged in the books because you feel I've already watched, especially books 1 and 2, because they follow it pretty closely, pick up a novella and it will spark your interest in the magic or a later book and
Yes.
maybe then come back to it. That's actually just the advice I give.
One of the
And
best
that's
Amazing
novellas
I think
advice.
that's why I'm
is
having oh, sorry, go on.
that's one of the best novellas to do that with. I think we would all agree is A Leaf on the Wind of All Hallows. Once I picked that book up, it changed everything. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, new information. And it's not that you're not going to get new
Mm-hmm.
information due to the changes in the earlier books, but I can remember having a conversation with Liz. I'm like, I am so over spoilers. Like, no matter where I turn, there's a video, something pops up, and I'm getting frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So I did just skip to book 7. And it was the best thing I did. Now I've re listened to them all. And what I recently did was if you're in the position, download the Kindle app on your phone. Get the Kindle version because as you're listening, it highlights, with the exception of book 6, because it's so big, it highlights as you're reading along. So while I'm at the sewing machine, I can both listen and read kind of at the same time. And I don't know what it is, it just works better for my brain. So that would be my advice. Katie, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Mhm.
I was just gonna say what Doreen says, like about, you know, kind of how you feel like I don't want to read this because I've already seen it in the show. For me, book 3 is when they really separate, personally, is what I think. I'm finding Voyager quite a bit different than the
Mhm.
show. I mean, the plot lines are still there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but just like, for example, like I was so shocked. I mean, spoilers, if you don't want to know what happens in book 3, just skip a few seconds ahead. But I was so shocked to learn that the reunion on the beach did not happen. Like, that's in season 3. That did not happen in the books. It was entirely different. But that kind of stuff sucks me in because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, what did happen?
Right.
You
Right.
New
know?
information. Yep.
And
Mhm.
I personally, yeah. And I
Yeah.
personally like the way, for those that don't know, I'm hosting a book club on TikTok. And we kind of break it up into 50 to 60, sometimes 70 pages. And we just kind of chunk, we take small bites out of the book, but I
Mhm.
like doing it that way because it allows me to digest it. I'm not speed reading. I'm not rushing through it. I'm sitting with it and I'm like, okay, well, what could this mean for this? Or what could potentially happen because this person made that decision? Or, because I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Based on the show, I know the plot
Mhm.
lines.
Mhm.
So it's really exciting for me to be able to read it that way, just in like bite-sized chunks. So for me, that would be my advice too, is if you're struggling, challenge yourself to at least read 50 pages a week. Because
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. Like I said in my book club, read, set a number and just be like, my goal is to read 50 pages this week or 65 pages, and just do it that way, because it's a lot more digestible that way than looking at this huge book that you've got to get through and you're like, man, I'm never going to get through this. Just take it in bite-sized pieces and you'll find yourself wanting to keep reading. I promise.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, okay, but I need to know what happens.
Let me also add
So,
in the reading sprints really do the reading sprints really do help. Set the timer for 20 minutes and before you know it, that 20 minutes is over and you will be surprised if you do that, 5 times a week, you've gotten a good chunk of reading done. And I'm amazed when you guys are live and I do say, "All right, let me do the reading sprint." I listen to it while I'm doing the dishes and boom, it's over before I know it and I want more. So it does help.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. I think we have time for like one or two more questions. And maybe one, and we'll
Okay.
just maybe have to come back and do, because we still have over 50 questions. So
oh wow, yeah.
this one is probably going to be our last question because
Love
I
it.
think it's probably going to take a
Sick.
lot of time. It comes in from Kylie.
Okay.
I once heard Doreen explain the space between, but it was on a live and I didn't retain it all. Can you explain what the space between is again? I think this is interesting because we
Well,
all view the space between very differently. I will go first if you want me to, or any of you can go first. I'm good with whoever wants to go first.
I feel like you should, because the question is referencing what your discussion was. So take the floor, please.
Just so you guys know, the last 3 nights have consisted of Jenny and I on 3-hour phone calls where we argued and came to a very different conclusion to what the space between is. And I'm a little salty about it.
This is
So
going to
if
be a
she starts
doozy.
contradicting
Yes.
me, I'm going to be like, okay.
Mute.
Okay, good to
I
know.
Listen, I
view,
will just sit here and Doreen and Jenny go.
Flags on
Battle.
the play.
well, I
Go
want to hear
sit.
what you guys, I want to hear what you guys think the space between is too. So I'll try to explain it as briefly as possible because I tend to get long-winded. I view the space between almost like a void, and it's an energy. I think that you can access it in your mind the way that Jamie does when he is dreaming, the way that Mandy and Jemmy do when they're telepathically connected. And I think that you can access it when you go through the stones. I don't think the stones are the space between, Jenny. I don't think the stones are. I think that where you go when you go through the stones is the space between. And hold on, I have a visual on my phone, and I think that this will help because Jenny's like, I don't understand what you're saying. So I showed her my visual of how, and can you guys see this? Hold on. Okay. It's
Oh
basically a
yeah.
black hole that is full of energy. And when you go through it, your body is breaking apart. And if you're not on the right frequency, if you're not grounded, you're going to explode. And I I don't view it as a tangible place. I view it almost as an energy, and all the power is there, and some people can tap into it and some people cannot. I also think it's a purgatory of sorts, that if you are trying to go through, you can get stuck there if you're trying to go to a time you're not meant to go to, that you can be held there until it's your time to get put somewhere. You can be held there until it's your time to go to heaven, to go to hell, wherever it is. It's, and anybody who has an understanding of purgatory understands what I mean. but I think it's an energy, almost like if you were in outer space and you were going to hop through a wormhole or a black hole to go to another universe, you're going through the space between that energy field. And when Jamie's able to dream and see the future and see all of these things, when he dies on Culloden, in his mind, he's going to the space between and then like astral projecting his ghost to the future. And that's how I view, that's why I say the powers are there, because I think if you're able to access that energy source, you're telepathically on a different level. And even Claire's healing would come from there, and it would be pulling that energy. That's why it's a blue light. It's almost like Reiki, like healing, and it's all based on the energy that's in the space between. So that is a very vague purgatory energy space. That's not a tangible place that you can see. It's just something that is. And if you're not
I
supposed to
love
be
the
there,
way
it's
you
gonna,
describe that.
yeah. And if you're not supposed to be there, it's gonna kick you out and put you on fire, or it's gonna disintegrate you, or it's gonna hold you there. And the screaming that you hear is people that are trapped there. The singing that you hear are people that have accepted their fate, or they know that their time is almost up and they're going to be leaving purgatory. So that's my very vague explanation. So I'm not ranting for 30 minutes. Who else wants to? Who else
No,
wants to
I love the
tackle
way
that?
you said that because I've always viewed it or kind of thought of it because I haven't gotten to that part yet, right? Like I don't fully know. I will read the novellas, I promise. But I always viewed it kind of as like a waiting room between, like you said, it's not like a physical place. It's just um a place where your spirit might lie, or your soul, whatever you want to call it, that is beyond, whatever you become after we die. That it's kind of like a waiting room of where, you're going to go to next, and maybe you can see where you're going to go next. So I love the way you describe that. Because that totally makes sense. Like,
But not even when you die, just
yeah,
even
I don't know.
between your
You
next,
explained it perfectly.
even
Well,
between your
yeah,
next
yeah.
jump
Or like
or
anybody
your
that has
next,
those powers.
yes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where you could be like a waiting room of sorts, like you said, or even just something that you can tap into if you need to. And um Jenny has an interesting, and I told her, I'm like, even though we came to a different
Well,
place, I think we're saying the same thing, just a bit differently.
okay, so every time I come on here, it's like in every episode, I'm like, I'm not a book reader. I'm not a book reader. And then I randomly throw a book out, like, oh, 20 years ago, I used to read these books by Dr. Wayne Dyer. So he was like a spiritual guru. He's since passed away, but his books were so engaging. And I would listen to them on CD, and they were great. So he did a lot of stuff on meditation. And
Is Okay, so
I
Jenny,
don't
the
think
non-reader, wrote every time I talk to her, she's like, "Oh yeah, I read
no.
this book. I read
Read
this
this
book." I'm
book.
like,
I know. And they're the
"Uh-huh."
most obscure books too. Um so this guru talked about getting in the gap. And I said to Doreen on the phone, like, the thing about music is that music is only music because of the pauses. I don't remember where I learned this, but it might have been from Wayne Dyer. So without the pauses, music is just one continuous noise. So you have to get into that gap. And I think the space between, and I don't have the book in front of me at the moment. I'm sad that I don't have it. Of what the comp said that made me think, oh, you know what it is? In the beginning, he's talking about the rats that he has laid out on the table, and he's checking to see if they're alive. He says, I'm in their bodies and I am feeling my way around. I'm ad libbing here. Like, I don't, those
Mhm.
aren't his exact words, but he has to get in them. So he is using his mind in that moment to feel his way around, to see if the heart is beating, to see if everything is, if the lungs are breathing, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, he's really using his mind. So maybe this is similar to Wayne Dyer saying getting in the gap. And getting in the gap would be meditating and getting your mind to do these things. So I am suddenly seeing the stones as completely separate. I still do think when you travel through the stones that that is some sort of a purgatory. We know that there are characters that leave within hours of each other and end up 10 years apart. They
Mm-hmm.
could leave at the same time, but they land 10 years away. I wonder if the time that you're spending for those 10 years is that your purgatory. But I
Sure.
also don't see the stones as having anything to do with the space between. I think the space
No,
between is more like a mind thing. Go ahead.
see, no, but like that's what I'm saying, and we talked about this a lot on the live that we did last Friday. But
Uh-huh.
I don't think the standing stones have anything to do with the space between either. I just think I've always said this: the standing stones are markers for where the ley lines and the energy force is the strongest, and
Right.
it's just harnessing that power so that
Power there.
you can access it if you're on like an AM versus a FM frequency, because in theory a time traveler would be on the same wavelength as that energy, and that energy where the ley line meets, that's the space between. So when you're going through the stones, you're just tapping into that energy, and your body is either going to disintegrate, your body's either going to get kicked back out, and that's almost like a wormhole. Okay, the
Uh,
power is not where you're. That looked so bad. Oh my god. the,
what'd you do?
I went like
Oh.
this. The power is not through where you jump, it's once you jump through what you jump into. That's the space between. The
So,
stone
but
is just where you're it's just marking it. Who
I
cares?
don't think Jamie seeing them, as we've seen in the show, even, he's able to see Claire in the future. I don't think he's using the stones for that.
No, he's using the energy. He's using the energy field that is the space between. The stones have nothing to do with it.
Well, I
He's
don't
able
even
to
know.
communicate in his
No,
mind because the same way that like Mandy or Jemmy could. It's an energy that they're tapping into, and people can tap into like Reiki masters can tap into the energy of the world all around them, and they can use it to heal people. And then there's people who can meditate like Buddha, and they can tap into the energy around them and they can use it for other things. I just think what you're saying is really true. There's a pause. Like if you hop off, and it could almost be the Mobius, like where the spaces and the music are, like you're saying. So if I'm just talking, and I don't breathe, there's no space between. I think that's what you're
right,
trying to say. But when I take that breath and I'm like, and whatever's existing in that moment, that's the space between moments.
So it's kind of
right.
like a frozen moment. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it's not frozen, I guess, but there's a certain amount of time elapsed between two things. You know what I mean? So like you could take a five
Mm.
second break between what you're saying. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm hearing it. Is that what you're saying? Is that it's
Yeah.
just kind of like a break in time?
Let me. I had texted
Yeah,
this
I
to
mean,
you.
that's actually kind of, and this is what I was trying to explain today, but she's, I'm at the doctor and I'll call you back, but I'm trying to say, like, even though we're in a different place, we're saying the same
The
thing.
same thing, and I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just a matter of like people trying to understand it in a way that they can get it in their head. And these
Mm-hmm.
books are huge, and there's a lot to it, and it's trying to rationalize it in how you can understand it. But I do think if I can figure out a way to say it, I'll make a video, because I can't
Ooh,
seem
I'm
to get
excited.
what's in my head out correctly. But
I
for the
Okay,
most part,
I
I do
see
also,
the
agree it's
vision.
purgatory. What's that?
I do agree, and I see your vision, and I think you're absolutely brilliant. So, but it also, I have thought the space between is what it is for so many years that I'm not going to get,
Right,
and I do think that could support both things. I think both things could be
right,
true because we're viewing it as an energy, not a physical place, like a
right.
space. Yeah.
so I guess my question to you would be because Jamie seems to have these moments happen when he's asleep, like they're a dream to him, right? But they are so
Hmm.
real. So what break would that be? Or you know what I mean? Like, or is it just him? I
I
don't
think there's a
know.
lot
Like,
more mind.
like
You'll
he's
I
learn more.
okay. So it's like because the way I look at it, it is like exactly like you said, Dorian, like it's people being able to access like a higher power. And then that's where they're in that waiting period. Like,
Mhm.
not necessarily that they're dead. It could be that they're dead, or it could be that, like you said, exactly like they're able to access that with their minds and kind of elevate to a higher place or another, not another
Yeah,
dimension, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
sure.
and they
Master
can see
Raymond.
things. It's like a space where you can see things that you normally wouldn't see in your own body.
And I mean,
Um,
Master Raymond can access it to talk to his father who's deceased. So there's it's a lot of interesting things there. Liz, how do you view it?
It's so interesting that we're talking about this topic because I actually just made a video this morning about my thoughts connected to Jamie and the snake bite and the space between.
Mm,
So I had so many thoughts about that. But I'm kind of nervous to share what I think now that all three of you have gone because I have some similarities, but I feel like I have some differences. But I'm also making my way through the book. So I feel like I'm not necessarily on the same level as Jenny and Doreen just because you have more information. But I guess I've always viewed the space between as a few different things. I guess the first being that I feel like the space between is an energy source where Master Raymond houses his powers. And I just envision when I think about it, it's almost like the wizard in The Wizard of Oz, that there's this big space that he's taking up, except for Master Raymond, it's just emptiness. It's all just emptiness, and his powers are there. And what it looks like, feels like, sounds like, I'm not quite sure, but that his energy source comes from the space between and is housed there. And I also feel like every every person, every character in Outlander who is a time traveler or who has a gift has their own space between that they can tap into to access their powers, but it's also waiting for them when they decide it's their time to pass through. And I say that because I
hmm.
think a lot about Claire accessing different parts of her space between when she's healing, especially in the show, and she's talking about feeling her fingers working and knowing exactly what's going to do, or she has her hands on someone and she doesn't necessarily have the ability to access medicine the way that she did in the future, but she could tell, she could feel it in her body what's wrong, that she's accessing the powers in her space between. And there is a color, right? There is an aura. There's blue, there's red, and who knows what else there is. But Claire's aura being blue for healing and her ability to heal, I feel like she can access whatever energy is in her space between that is waiting for her. But when she's in those moments of healing and feeling herself working, she's going to the space between. Even though she's awake, she's conscious, she's
Mhm.
going to the space between. She's having like an out of body experience, I also want to say. I also agree that the stones, the standing stones themselves, are not the space between, but when you go through your journey, your passageway, you are traveling somewhere. And that maybe on your journey through to the other side, you are going through your space between, but you're also in the space between
See, all right, let me
in
jump in
general.
here. Where I split off. I don't think that travel time is the space between. I think they're two separate things.
Okay.
Huh.
So look, when I tell you, I'm not kidding when I say this. I was laying in bed listening to the space
That's fair.
between. I was falling asleep. I was waking up. I was rewinding. I was like, I have got to go, but I couldn't sleep anyway. So
You were kind of in the
this
space
is,
between.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think they're two separate things.
Mhm.
Can I
So I
can I
don't,
ask her?
when I figured this out, I will share
They
it
could
all.
be. The thing is that they could be, but I think we can all agree it's an energy.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
100%,
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Well,
And
and
like the
I,
I
story we're like the story maybe we're the whole entire series maybe we're all meant to interpret it differently and have our own journey with it.
oh, and that's true too.
yeah.
That's
I'm going to
very
know
true.
soon enough. I'm going to know soon enough, I hope.
What did you want to say, Liz?
Oh, I just wanted to finish what I
Go
was
Yeah,
ahead.
go
Sorry.
ahead.
So in the most recent part of season 7, I think we saw a brief moment of the space between. I think we saw a few different brief moments of the space between, but one in particular that I found, and I guess spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't watched season 7 part 2, there is a moment where Jemmy can hear what's happening on the other side. And
Mm.
when he's in the tunnel. And I do think that that portal is maybe an entranceway into the space between one place and another. And in order to pass through, you've got to go on your space between, but also in the space between. So it's almost like if you have a big tunnel, but there's different lanes that you can travel.
Mhm.
There's space between, the space between, and then there's your space between.
That's
So
crazy because I was picturing that as you were like before you said they're different tunnels. I was like, okay, there's a big space and then they all have tunnels. And then you said that and I was like, whoa.
That's wormholes. Yeah, like wormholes. Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the show The 100?
Never.
That's
No.
your homework. Okay. That's the
okay.
list. That's the very
Okay.
concept of that show. And they are going to other places where time is different, where time moves slower,
Mhm.
time moves faster. And it's very interesting. And it's like about the cyclical nature of time. So
Cool.
um I just think we all agree it's an energy. And that's probably
Mhm.
the best answer that we can
Yeah,
give at
the
this
Well, and
point.
simplest
I
answer.
And I also think it's important to note that I think the space between in the show and the space between in the books is going to be like like everything a really different thing, and I'm
Sure.
very intrigued by all of a sudden season 7 seeming to tie in or try to tap into some of the really magical elements of the story, and I'm over the moon excited to see how they are going to tackle the absolute magic that is book 9 in season
Mm.
8. So if you guys see me just basically becoming undone because they left out really magical parts, I will
uh
be happy.
Yeah,
I'll be
well
happy.
and
Okay.
no spoilers. There's a big one, and I do not
Huge.
know how they're going to show this on TV. I just don't.
Mm.
I think when you guys were describing this, I automatically thought of, especially with the controversy of is the travel the same space between? I thought of Dragonfly and Amber, the book, not the
Hmm.
episode. When Roger and Brianna and Claire all watch Gayless travel, Roger
Hmm.
explains it as he's physically being pulled, like sucked into this
Mhm.
energy, and they're
Mhm.
having to like claw at the ground to stop.
Mhm.
So I personally would think it was the same place because it's like they're trying to drag them. This energy is like, you belong here. You know what I mean? This is where, and then that they travel through the space between, like Doreen said, to where they're supposed to end up in whatever century or time that is.
And that's an interesting analogy if you think about the title of the novella A Leaf on the Winds of All Hallows and why it was
Hmm.
called that. Jenny already knows where I'm going. She's like, "Oh, here we go again with the freaking leaf." Because
I love Leaves, though. I
gone
love it.
I've
Me
gone
too.
through every book and why it's called what it is called, what it's called, and there's a defining moment where you're like, "Oh, this is Outlander. Obviously, she's an Outlander. Dragonfly and Amber. You've got the Dragonfly." And I think Leaf is an symbolism or an interpretation of a leaf gets carried by the wind somewhere where it does not want to go. It's being carried away. And Jerry is being carried away by the space between and pulled in a direction that he didn't want to go. And that's why that has that title. And that explains exactly the energy that I'm talking about, that you do not get to dictate where you're going, why you're going, when it's taking you. You're hearing it, you're pulled to it, and it's either going to kick you out, it's going to spit you out, whatever it's going to do. And Jenny has talked about how she views when you go through, it's like your body's getting all malformed, it's ripping you apart. And your head's being stretched and your arms are being stretched. And I love that visual. I feel the same way, but I think it's more of a disintegration. You're breaking into pieces.
Mhm.
So, but I guess we're just gonna leave this one on. We all agree it's an energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
because we're
maybe
over
it
an
is that
hour,
simple.
so it is maybe that simple. But I think we'll probably later on, you guys, we appreciate so much that we got over 75 questions. And there's just not enough time
Amazing.
to answer them all, but we promise eventually one day we are going to get back to all these questions. But for today, I think
Yes.
that's kind of all we've got.
Thanks for tuning in. This was fun.
Keep tuning in for more deep dives and wild theories.
And thank you, everyone, for sending in your questions. We will see you in the space between.
And until next time, stay Outlander unhinged.